very warm welcome to you this morning at Tennessee Park Hotel for our very first MIoD Expert Series session. I'm Lisa, the Learning and Advocacy Manager at the Institute, and I'm pleased to have you with us this morning, sharing on one of the major innovations of our era. Today's event is being hosted by the MIoD in collaboration with our esteemed patron, Rogers Capital Technology Services Limited, on the theme Artificial Intelligence and ChatGPT, as part of our expert series. Before moving on with our program for today, allow me to share a short video with you on our recent breakfast forum looking at building an ESG-centric ecosystem using technology. Some housekeeping rules before we start. I would like to request you to kindly please switch off the sound of your mobile phone during this event, while also following the sanitary protocols in place at the venue. It should also be noted that our photographer will be taking pictures to immortalize this session this morning. Artificial intelligence is not just the future anymore. We are presently witnessing the remarkable capabilities of ChatGPT, leading us to be reminded of the boundaries of human innovation and creativity, which are constantly expanding. Today's session will enable us to delve deeper into the realm of AI. On this note, I am pleased to kick off this event by inviting Mrs. Sheila Judah, the Chief Executive Officer of the MIoD, for her welcome speech. If you could please join me, Sheila.
Thank you, Rafisa. Can you all hear me? Yes? Right? Well, MIoD members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, MIoD board directors, and members of the press, a very good morning to you. It's a pleasure to be here, to see such a wonderful audience. Look at here, so many people. And of course, we have an interesting topic today. And especially when it comes to the first expert series that we are launching today. And the theme chosen is Artificial Intelligence and ChatGPT. I must say it's a real technological breakthrough. You would agree with me, right? And when it comes to technology, we must recognize that we need to stay ahead of the curve, especially in this evolving business landscape. And one area that has become increasingly relevant to corporate governance is artificial intelligence, which is transforming the way businesses operate, from streamlining processes to enhancing customer experiences. Our goal is to leverage AI in a responsible and ethical way to drive innovation while also protecting our stakeholders. And at the heart of this effort is ChatGPT, a cutting-edge model that is at the forefront of natural language processing. But in just a few months, ChatGPT has shaken the world of tech giants. And if the ChatGPT artificial intelligence, the version 4, is being talked around the world, it is mainly because it is revolutionizing interaction between humans and machines. Overall, I must say, this can be a valuable tool in the workplace by helping individuals save time, increase productivity, and improve communication. But what are the capabilities of this tool that will disrupt our daily lives? This question is on everyone's lips. I met a few of you here, and that question came to me this morning again. Because with great power comes great responsibility. We must ensure that the use of AI is aligned with our core values and principles, and that we are taking steps to mitigate any potential risks or ethical concerns. As advanced as AI promises to be, it also needs human oversight and input to guide it and process the data the interface sends back to the user. With AI being increasingly used to make important business decisions such as employee hiring and financial forecasting, it's crucial that organizations have proper governance structures in place to ensure that the technology is being used ethically and responsibly. Furthermore, corporate governance can also help ensure that AI is implemented in a way that benefits all stakeholders, including employees, customers, and shareholders, while mitigating potential risks and ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements. To this end, we have collaborated with our patron, Rogers Capital, and brought in our facilitator here, Mr. Dave Urku, a top AI expert, to share his expertise with us today. He will provide valuable insights into how we can continue to leverage this technology to drive growth and innovation, while also ensuring that our governance practices are sound and responsible. In conclusion, I would like to leave you with a quote by Stephen Hawking. The rise of powerful AI will be either the best or the worst thing ever to happen to humanity. We do not know which yet. I look forward to learning more about the future of AI and ChatGPT. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned earlier, this event is in collaboration with our patron, Rogers Capital Technology. It is thus my utmost pleasure to introduce our next speaker and event partner, who will take us on an informative and interactive journey on today's theme. Mr. Dave Urku is a seasoned ICT professional who started his career at Mauritius Telecom. He successfully held the position of General Manager of Telecom Plus, Teleservices, and Chief Information Officer of the Mauritius Telecom Group. Prior to joining Rogers Capital, he founded and led Innova, a strategic business consultancy and ICT services in Mauritius and the Indian Ocean region. Dave holds an engineering degree in computer science, systems, and networking from the École Supérieure d'Électricité, Paris, and a postgraduate certificate in business administration. He's the Managing Director of Rogers Capital Technology Services since 2018 and has recently been appointed on the government's National ICT Advisory Council. As Dave brings us on a journey where we will delve deeper into the realm of AI, please join me in welcoming him. Dave, the floor is yours.
Okay, do you hear me? Fine. Good morning, everybody. I have to start by saying, I'm not an expert in AI. We have a team at Rogers Capital, a digital factory team. They are the experts. I'm just maybe sharing some insights that are gathered together with the team on AI and ChatGPT. Before starting, just wanted to ask a few questions just to understand where we are in terms of progress with regards to knowledge about AI and ChatGPT. So how many of you in the audience have heard about ChatGPT? Vast majority, I would say above 95% of the audience. How many of you are using ChatGPT? Let's say maybe 70%. Before ChatGPT, before you heard about ChatGPT, how many of you were using AI in your business? Only maybe about 5, 6, 7 enterprises. So what it means is that ChatGPT has really created a revolution and has made everybody aware of the power of artificial intelligence. And going forward, what I'm seeing is like it's going to be AI everywhere, and because ChatGPT has brought artificial intelligence to the forefront. So let's see. What I'll cover today is just to give you, certain guidelines. We will cover certain topics, so that afterwards you can explore. I'm not in 1 hour's time. We cannot go into too much depth. So just rapidly going through certain domains, certain topics, so that afterwards you know how to explore and go deeper into these. So what we are going to see today, of course, I'm going to talk about AI, definitely. The evolution of AI, how it works. We are going to see some examples of AI as well. And when I'm talking about AI here, it's more to do with the traditional AI, prior to ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT is another type of AI. And then we'll talk about ChatGPT itself. In terms of how we can going through some issues of concern with regards to AI, because it's advancing so fast, at times it is becoming scary as well. Yeah. So how has AI evolved over time? Let's have a look over here. You will find that AI started more than 70 years back, from the 1950s. At that time, we have great scientists, mathematicians like Alan Turing, that started the work on AI. He also created what we call the Turing test, to test whether a machine is behaving like a human or not. So it's a famous test, which is still in use today, but which unfortunately I believe will be very obsolete when we look at what is coming with ChatGPT and so on. So what you will observe over here is that the developments have been very slow. We even had winters of AI because there was no progress. The word AI itself was coined in 1956, so it's very, very long. But then progress was not huge, very slow. The only, I would say, concrete things we can say about that period till 2011 is about what IBM has done with Deep Blue, winning against the world champion in chess, and then IBM Watson winning in Jeopardy. But then these were different types of AI. It was with high capacity servers, IBM main servers, high capacity servers, and also algorithm designed for instance, chess. Algorithm designed for the competition, Jeopardy competition, and the scientists working several years on these issues. So it was very specialized. The progress was very slow. You know why? On AI at that time, because certain things were missing. First of all, it's about compute power. AI requires a lot of power, computing power. And second thing, AI needs a lot of data. And these were lacking during this phase, initial phase. And then, over the last decade, a lot of things have happened in AI. And the trigger has been the availability of lots of data with the internet, with social media, and so on. And also lots of computing power with cloud infrastructure everywhere. So these have been the real trigger. You will find lots of concrete applications on AI that have been deployed within enterprises and also within the general public. These applications are, I would say, in certain domains. First of all, you will see a lot of in terms of speech recognition with Siri, Microsoft Cortana, Amazon Alexa, and so on. Lots of them Google Assistant with NLP, natural language processing. And then a lot of applications using computer vision. Computer vision, you will find at the very bottom, lots of applications in computer vision. We are talking about number plate recognition in cars. So this is why you get your excess tickets and so on. You have facial recognition, you have image recognition, and so on, lots of them. We have also autonomous cars that has started with Tesla in 2015 and different versions of these coming on. And then we have also robotics. Sophia, I think, I don't know which year it was, but Sophia, we had an event in Mauritius where we had a visit of Sophia. And then Boston Dynamics are doing impressive things in robotics. I have a video on that. And then 2022, the real change with the phenomenon, I would say, of ChatGPT. It is a different type of AI, which is called generative AI. So this is where we are today. So if you compare with what has happened over 60 years, from 1950 to 2011, not much progress. And then in 10 years, a lot of things have been done. And now, my friend, this is going to be even faster evolution of AI. So what is going to come next? We are talking now about 3 areas of development for artificial intelligence. The first one, it's about artificial narrow intelligence, and then artificial general intelligence, and ASI, artificial superintelligence. What is artificial narrow intelligence? It is, you can have any situation, for instance, and it's called narrow because we can have a situation, okay, and you get data on that particular situation, you get AI to work on a particular domain. It's not on everything, but you narrow things, you say, okay, this is a particular situation we have. It can be into enterprise, a particular situation. You collect the data, you get AI to work on it, and then AI will give you something which works better than human, what human will do. So this is called narrow intelligence because you get everything to focus on a particular problem. And once you have trained, because it's about training, you get the data, you get the AI to train, and then provide solutions for the particular problem. The AI will not work on something else, on another domain, because it's like you have trained the AI, for instance, to work on a particular, let's say, computer vision analysis of, I don't know, cars and so on, but then it will not work on something else. It's like you get a student to work to study, let's say, in computer science. The student will not be able to do mechanics, for instance. So it's the same thing. You train AI on a particular domain. So this is narrow intelligence, and this is what we have been seeing all this time, narrow intelligence. Artificial general intelligence, we were expecting, experts were expecting AGI to happen maybe in over more than 20 years, but it's happening right now. Experts are already starting to talk about AGI. ASI, it's the situation where, AI is well beyond capabilities of human beings. It's like, for instance, at one point in time, you have AI becoming of orders of magnitude more intelligent than all humankind, all human combined. This is what we are talking about when we reach ASI. It is supposed before ChatGPT and so on, we were thinking, experts, not me. Experts were thinking that this will come around in maybe 70 years' time. So it is now, we are thinking that it will come. Experts are thinking it will come much earlier. So these are examples of artificial narrow intelligence, you've seen a lot of them. So just a few examples. Face recognition, street management, speech recognition, driverless cars, and so on. A lot of them. Okay? Narrow intelligence because it's domain specific. And then this is AGI. AGI, I don't know if you remember the movie Terminator and Star Wars and so on. So it gives you a feeling of what we are saying. General intelligence is like a robot or an intelligence that can do multiple things. And any idea about the other one? ASI, artificial superintelligence. This is ASI. It's supposed like this. We're talking about Jarvis in IMN, Skynet in Terminator, and Transcendence, another movie that we had recently. So this, in a nutshell, gives you an idea of where we are. So if you can play the video. Okay. So we start with the dynamics. It shows you where we are. Good. Very impressive what Boston Dynamics are doing. And you can visit the website. On YouTube as well, you will find lots of videos on what the robots can do. Different types of robots. Human-like robots. You have also others, like animals and so on. If you look at the YouTube, at the videos, it's very, very impressive. This robot, for instance, I think the name is Atlas, can walk in forest and in different levels and so on. So it can fall and then it will get up again. What I'm seeing here in this video, I think this one is in 2023. It is also looking for solutions. So it was looking for la planche là pour utiliser. Donc it looks for solutions. So they have reached another level. Now, important to understand as well. It's going to be a little bit technical, but I think it's important that I share with you how artificial intelligence works. Why? Because we will be having lots of issues afterwards about compliance, about data privacy, we talk about ethical AI, responsible AI, and so lots of these things you will hear about. So, as business leaders, it is important that you understand, because this technology is going to transform everything. It's going to be everywhere, AI everywhere. And it's important that you as business leaders understand how it works so that you can take, I would say, the right decisions afterwards. Okay? Good? So how it works? First of all, AI itself. The goal of AI is what? To get a machine to develop capabilities that imitates human intelligence. So this is the goal of artificial intelligence. So it's a machine, basically. And now you need to make a machine become intelligent. How do you do that? Of course, it starts with learning. And this is why we are talking about machine learning, because it's machine that is going to learn. And then one subset of machine learning is deep learning. I will tell you what is deep learning. So machine learning, it's about techniques for the machines to learn, but the techniques, in fact, how the machine will learn is through past data. You give it data. This is why I was saying, initially, in the first phase, AI was developing very slowly because what was lacking was data for the training of the AI. And then there are different types of training: supervised, unsupervised, and then reinforcement. I will not go into the detail of these. Suffice to say that data is very important. And inherently, when we talk about AI, we talk about prediction, because it uses past data to predict outcomes. So we are talking about prediction when we talk about AI. And then deep learning. Why deep learning? You know, to get a machine to imitate human, let's say the way human behave, you need to also find ways of getting the machine to learn similar to the way the brain functions. So here we're talking about neural networks, models, algorithms. We have different types of these models. We have, for instance, convolutional neural networks, which is used increasingly for computer vision. And then we have recurrent neural network, which is here used for speech recognition. And lately, with ChatGPT, we have large language models, which we call transformers. When we are talking about ChatGPT, you have that word GPT, which means generative, which is it's generate text, generate content, generative, pre-trained, because it has been pre-trained, and then transformers. So these are the algorithms that are being used in ChatGPT. And of course, the last thing is, you know, AI is about mathematics. So mathematical tools, statistics, probability, and so on. So in a nutshell, this is the ecosystem of artificial intelligence. Now, I think last slide about technicalities. When we talk about, trying to imitate the human brain, the functioning of the human brain, so this is, in a sense, the way the brain is. We have neurons within our brain, and we've tried to modelize the neural network in our brain. Okay, so how it works here at the top left for you. Let's take the case of how we train this neural network. You can take, for instance, in the case of supervised learning, we have lots of pictures, for instance, of animals, of birds. Okay, and then we will tag each of these pictures, saying, okay, this is a dog, this is a cat, this is a bird, or whatever, and so on. And we send lots of these pictures within the network. And it will learn, just like we make a child learn. In the same way, the system will learn. And then, after some time, when we have a new picture without any tag, we send to the network, it will automatically say, yes, this is a bird. Because it has learned before, with lots of data, how to recognize these different things. So this is supervised learning. And then we have unsupervised learning, where we don't put any tag. We just send lots of data. It can be animals, birds, and so on. We have these pictures that we send to the network. We inject into the network, and then gradually what will happen? The network itself will find patterns in these pictures. And then we'll start to categorize, saying that, okay, these different pictures, they resemble in a certain way. They have similar patterns, so it will start classifying similar I would say, pictures together and so on. And in return, it comes to the same thing. So this is how it works. And then, of course, what I've shown at the top was one model. We have lots of models of useful AI. Okay, it can be, as I mentioned, models for computer vision, models for speech recognition, models for ChatGPT, and so on. Or it can be hardware. We use lots of them. So we at Rogers Capital, we have been working a lot with these different models to define solutions for different enterprises based on the situation and the requirements of the problems and so on. So we've been working a lot on this. And then applications. What are the applications? Once we have these, some type of application. I mentioned that we have two types of, let's say, mature domain, computer vision and speech recognition, which you have seen also in terms of concrete applications. Most of them are on speech recognition and computer vision. These are things already deployed within businesses. It's like understanding images, extracting the data, and then processing these data. So we've developed solutions which we call extract of data using AI. AI, and each time, as I mentioned, when we talk about narrow intelligence, we're taking situations and we are analyzing, and the end result is what? You do things better than human, because it's behind you have compute, you have lots of training of the data and so on a particular domain. The end result is that you become better performing compared to what a human being would do. The thing is, for instance, if you look at the second one, medical scan, a doctor or radiologist, when he looks at the medical scan, the diagnostic that the doctor or radiologist can give is as good as what his eye, naked eye, can see on the medical scan. But if you give the same scan to AI, it will look at it pixel by pixel, meaning that the accuracy of the diagnostic becomes better than a normal doctor. And this is proven, this is already accepted, that AI will give better results. Okay? Another application where we've done a lot, especially in global business, it's about speech recognition. In global business, they have lots of business board meetings. At times, board meetings can be 3 hours, 4 hours. So automatically, you can do the transcription and then summary for the exec or the persons, doing the minutes and so on. So it's like a software that helps a lot, save time for the global business. I will not dwell on the other applications. We need to move on. Now, just for you to see, whatever I've shown you, how it is in action, so that you get the feel. I'm going to take an example which is the simplest that I've seen, so that it's not difficult to understand. So basically here it's taking invoices, because it's something that happens in all enterprises. You have lots of invoices, you need to get the data from the invoices and then inject into software, ERP or other systems that you have. So these are things happening in all businesses. Okay, I'm taking a very simple case so that you understand how these can be used in businesses. So here we have invoices, utility invoices, and we have artificial intelligence. With artificial intelligence, we extract the data, and then once we get the data, we inject directly into the ERP. So I don't know if it works. Oops. Yeah. Yes, it's on. So here we have different invoices, different formats, different type of information in these invoices. The system, using artificial intelligence, will decode, because it's computer vision, we decode the invoices, we get the data, and then using robotic process automation, it's another technology, inject directly into the ERP. So it works fine, super fast, and these things can be done around the clock because it's robotic doing these things. So you can see here, we can include, how do I say, some further intelligence, so that, for instance, whatever amount you've got from one utility bill, but it's shared between different departments and so on. Okay, you get the idea? Now let's move on. Now we enter the hot topic, ChatGPT. So I've taken some time to explain to you evolution of AI till now. Whatever we've seen, I consider now, because of ChatGPT, I consider that the others are traditional AI. And now we are moving into something else. Generative AI, what it is. Generative AI, we have, so it's now we are generating content from text. We have a text, so we can generate another text. So this, in a sense, is initially ChatGPT. And then we also have, from text, we can create image, text to image. We can also create text to video. We have lots of tools available on the internet, and it's growing. The more now you look at it, you will find more tools. And also, all the tools existing here, you see here, have got major upgrades, because ChatGPT, in February, I did a presentation for the senior leadership team of Rogers Group. It was on 28th of February. So I did some demo, it was on ChatGPT 3.5, and now we're talking about ChatGPT 4, which is completely different. No, not completely different, but in terms of performance, it's another level, really another level. We are going to see a demo of OpenAI, ChatGPT at the very top, text to text. And then Mid-Journey, I'm going to show what can be done with Mid-Journey. But then what has happened as well in terms of text to image, OpenAI had another tool, text to image, which is called DALL-E 2. Now this has been integrated with Bing, Microsoft Bing, and it's going to be huge. Text to video, you have Google Imagine Video, and then Meta, make a video. Meta is Facebook. If you have time, I would advise you to maybe start playing with this, because it's quite interesting what these things can do. And it will show you really that we are at the start of something totally new. Now, ChatGPT, what it is. So I think, let's say about 70% of the audience have started using ChatGPT. For me, when I look at it, these are my views. When I look at ChatGPT, first of all, what I see with it is it has brought AI to the forefront. You know what it means here is that whatever I've been showing you before, what we've been doing, it's traditional AI. It's like AI within the business where we have tried to find solutions, but then it stays in the background. It's not, the user does not, how do I say, the back drive, the back period. It's in the background. And this is why most of you, when I ask a question, before ChatGPT, how many of you were using AI in enterprise? I got only about 6 or 7 people, because it was not at the forefront. Even though unknowingly you were using AI. If, for instance, you go on Amazon, you go on websites and so on, Amazon will tell you, okay, you have purchased this book. Maybe for someone like you, you can also purchase this other book you would like. If you go on Netflix, Netflix will tell you, because you have watched, I don't know, Terminator or My Mission Impossible, you will also like this other video. You will love to watch it. So you will get recommendations. You will get recommendations about what you need to buy. The AI will know you better than yourself. So this is AI in the background, which is happening on all the online experiences. With ChatGPT now, it's like it has come to the forefront. You are aware of AI. You are aware of its potential. And this is the difference, first of all. Second thing I'm seeing is it's human-like conversation. If you do search on Google, you just do a query, number search. Here it's like you can talk to the search. Right now it's like you're writing the conversational search, but tomorrow you will talk. It will recognize and then convert to text, do the query, and then get back to you and talk back to you, just like Siri or Alexa and so on. Another thing which is interesting, maybe you've not been paid much attention to it. It's like it has memory. It remembers the context. When you do a search or your query or whatever question you ask on ChatGPT, it remembers, because you can afterwards refine. You can say you get the first response and then you say, okay, no, I want it to be different. Let's say, I don't know, you've asked for some information about, let's say, AI itself. It gives you lots of information. Then you say, okay, no, I want it in maybe 100 words. Afterwards, no, I want it in 50 words, summarize and so on. So it will give you, it will remember, and will give you better and better responses. So it's about contextual memory. And then another thing is personal. To get, I'm sure all of you, you've been, on YouTube, you've been looking at how you can get the best out of ChatGPT. And every time we tell you, you need to work on the prompt. You need to ensure that whatever you ask, just like when you're asking a kid, you need to really ask it well, and then it will give you the right answer. So you need to work on the prompt. Now, on the prompt itself, you can also ask ChatGPT, they have different personas. You can, for instance, say, okay, imagine or pretend you are a very experienced marketer, 20 years of experience in marketing, whatever. You set the scene. Or you say, okay, pretend you are an expert in AI, like me, for instance. Or, you develop the persona, and then the response you will get will be, you will find it will be different to the normal query that you send. It will answer everything you ask, it will answer. At times it will be also not good answers, but be aware of it. What I've seen within Rogers Capital, I've been doing a survey just to see how we are using language, how they are using ChatGPT. And I can see maybe two areas using a lot. First of all, in marketing, it has become a best friend. Koyan is here. I'm discussing with her. She said that ChatGPT has become her best friend. It's not that ChatGPT is replacing what she's doing now, but instead of doing something which will take maybe, I don't know, maybe certain 2 hours, let's say, it can be done in 30 minutes with refining and so on. So it's helping people becoming much more efficient. Software, for example, we are a software company, we develop a lot of things, so we are seeing also things that can be done over there in terms of software development. So I mentioned about teacher caution. When you are expert in your domain, you will find that at times ChatGPT does not give you, it gives you incorrect answers. You need to be aware of it. Not everything is correct. At times it's not correct. Also, you will find that in certain situations, it will create reality. It will create something totally new and pretend that it's true, it's reality. You need to be aware of it. Because then it's like fake news, fake fact. You need to check the facts. And lastly, what I have done over here is, it can be tricky. You know what? When you use ChatGPT, at times it will tell you this query, whatever, is against the content policy of the company. Okay? So it will not give you the answer, but it can be tricked into giving the answer. So you have to be aware of it. So at times, the company Microsoft or OpenAI, they're saying, okay, they are protecting ChatGPT into not giving, certain information, but you can trick it. So this is ChatGPT in a nutshell. Let me, how much time I have? I have time, right? Debo, just before I explain what your Audrey, if you can come back, Audrey. Yes. Yeah. So this is some demos that I did on 28th of February. No, for the presentation on the 28th of February. It was on ChatGPT 3.5. Now we are on ChatGPT 4, another version which is much more powerful than 3.5. I'm not showing all the examples that I've shown in February, so we don't have that much time. One of them, which I'm not showing here, is, for instance, if you are working, let's say, hospitality, you are an international company, and you would like your website, for instance, to have different languages, English, French. Let's say you are in hospitality, you want to target Chinese. You would have gone on Google Translate, and then maybe translate something. into Chinese. But then maybe Google Translate, there are nuances in language which you cannot maybe understand, you will not understand, and you will not translate well. ChatGPT is really good at that, understanding languages, the nuances, and so on. And so what we've done is you can take your content, for let's say in English, to translate into Chinese, and get the Chinese back translated to French, for instance, just to verify that translation is good. So these are things that can be done, which means also that certain jobs maybe will need to be reviewed. Okay, because the forte, the strength of ChatGPT is really natural language processing. So, okay. So now what you are going to see is something that we've done in a job. In a job, what is you have to understand behind? We have not here what we would say we've not interfaced. We've not we will not go directly on ChatGPT. You will have an application, an HR application, let's say, where the HR person is going to, what they need to do is to define the job description for a particular post. Okay, they have to do it. This is the details of the job description. We are going to look for it from ChatGPT, but it will happen in the background. So the application is connected through API. It's connected to ChatGPT. So this is what we are going to see over here. So here you find the application. It's a normal application. We did it very rapidly just to showcase. Here you are seeing, okay, we have, I don't know, maybe details for a, I don't know what it is, developer, and the JD. We are going to show you, for instance, right now, we are going to look for the JD for an accountant for the finance department. So we are going to put the details in this form. And then afterwards, in the background, it will go on ChatGPT. It will send the query with the right prompt, and then get the data from ChatGPT. So the user, the employee, does not need to go on ChatGPT because everything is done in the background. I don't know if it's already there. No, it's still start developer. Then you will find at one point in time, it will go and fetch. It will go and fetch. Well, yeah, here it is. It goes and fetch the details for the accountant. It's a simple example, but then it's about your imagination. You can imagine what you want for your enterprise. I'm just showcasing what can be done. Another example now is here. What we've done here is using ChatGPT to generate a prompt for another system, which is called MIoD. So ChatGPT, we are using the capability of text to text. We give a simple text to ChatGPT. We tell it, generate the prompt that we are going to use for MIoD. MIoD is another tool which takes a text and then generates an image. Okay? So we are asking two things from ChatGPT. So if you can play. So here we are going on ChatGPT. So this is the interface. If you go on ChatGPT, you can log in and then start using. So I don't know if you're able to see what is written. It's just that, in simple text, we're asking ChatGPT to generate something more, how do I say? Let's say we have one sentence. We describe that we want a picture which is about the sun, sustainability, and cocktail and so on together. Okay, this is what we said, and we said ChatGPT create a prompt which is much larger in terms of text, and then that we are going to send to MIoD. MIoD is the text to image creator. So here we take the prompt from ChatGPT and we inject into MIoD. Here, this is where we have inserted it, and you will find that MIoD uses the text, understand the context, that we want something about the scent, about the sustainability, cocktail, whatever it is, and it's going to generate the image. All these are done very rapidly. If you had to give it to creative, I don't know how much time you would have taken, but this is just to show you that it goes super fast. So this is one of the first version, okay, and you can refine. You go different version till you get something which is really good. So this is the final. It shows you how easy it is. With text, you create an image. And the image that you create is dependent on the quality of the information that you give in the prompt. Okay? So now, another example where you can use ChatGPT. Again, here, it's like, I think many of you. So this one we did for the finance department. So we try to give things for HR, marketing, and finance. So finance, for instance, they work a lot with Excel. Very often, they download from the servers huge files, and they need to work, dashboards and so on. They need to do analysis and so on, and it's very slow because they have a lot of data on the Excel. The laptop is very slow, so it takes time. So what we've done here, we've asked ChatGPT to give us a script where the user, from his own Excel, he injects the script, okay? And what happens is, instead of downloading everything on his laptop, the analysis is run on the SQL server, on the database server itself, and then only the result comes to him. So it's super fast. And it's something that is only with small text. Can you play there? You get to get the script. So it's like it makes things extremely easy for the user, providing they know what they're asking for, providing they know. Okay? So here it's a little bit technical because we're talking about script, about code. And by the way, till this comes again, you will find that in software development, it's like developers are very happy with ChatGPT because it's like something that would have taken maybe 2 hours to code, but can be done more rapidly, maybe also with a lot of optimization, and maybe if they are having bugs in the software, they can use ChatGPT to remove bugs and so on. So here we have the script. Unfortunately, I think at the back we're not going to see what is written over here, but it is giving. It gives the script as well as explanation about what it's doing and how to do it on Excel. So here are the scripts are. So everything is given. You can just take it and then use it. So a simple user, without knowing any code, can make his life much simpler using ChatGPT. Okay. So I will not go more on it because I think at the back we're not seeing it. Okay. Now we've seen whatever I've shown was ChatGPT 3.5, and we are now ChatGPT 4, which is much more powerful than 3.5. It is faster, more performing. It also integrates visual. ChatGPT 3.5 was only about text. Now it integrates. We are going very soon to have to hear about visual ChatGPT, and very, very powerful. And the applications can also, the range of applications is also increasing. Other things we have in ChatGPT 4 is the data on which it is trained is much, much more than the initial data in ChatGPT 3.5, meaning that it can do more things than before. Now, what is happening? Microsoft bought OpenAI, and then what they have started doing is pivoting their own business. Everything in Microsoft now is moving to integrate ChatGPT as a core engine powering all their applications. So all the tools that we use in Microsoft, Office, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, what else? OneDrive, Outlook, all of these are going to be integrated. What it means, it's like you're going to have a co-pilot. It's not like, let me rephrase. I'll give you certain examples. Let's say you receive a mail, lots of text in the mail. Read a command, let's say at the right, some simple command, you will tell the tool, take the mail and then generate a PowerPoint out of it. So take the mail and do it, because it's a long mail. I want a summary of the mail. It will give you a summary. I want the mail to be in a PowerPoint version, so it will work on the PowerPoint for you. You can tell it as well, okay, the PowerPoint, okay, it's too much text, please simplify. It will simplify it for you. I want to add visuals in the PowerPoint, so it will have visuals. It will go on your OneDrive, whatever data, pictures you have, your library, your knowledge base in your company, it will go fetch it over there and then bring it on the PowerPoint. So everything is going to be super easy. So this is the beauty of it, and everything is going to be integrated around Bing and Edge. Edge is the equivalent of Chrome for Microsoft, Edge. And then Bing is a search, so it's Google search becoming Bing search. And now they are trying a lot to replace Google search by Bing search. And there, Google is coming with Bard, another equivalent of ChatGPT. We are going to search for things in the near future. We are going to search for things. We are going to get answers with regards to our questions. Questions will be conversation-like. You ask a question, you get it. And of course, there will be the chat. And then within Bing, you can create images for your business and so on. So it's going to be a new world. And it's about, for me, it's a game changer in terms of productivity that we are going to see. It's also about now with the tools, learning how you work, instead of you learning how to use a tool. So this is what is going to come. Okay? The work is going to change. So in a nutshell, this is what you are going to see. You can take a single bullet, tell ChatGPT or Word or Outlook or whatever, all the tools you have, you can take a bullet point and then create content out of this bullet point. So you have a long mail that you send. And then on the other side, someone else can take that long mail and then get it back to your bullet. So these are things that you are going to see, they are going to happen. So you have AI together with AI. Another thing, ChatGPT will be your best friend. You will ask ChatGPT anything you want. Even if you want to say, okay, what will be the impact on my business? You will say, okay, yes, wait a minute. I'm going on ChatGPT, I'm going to get the answer for it. And it's going to happen. The first reflex you're going to have systematically will be to go on ChatGPT. Good? Are you with me? What is the impact on jobs? Having seen all these. Definitely, some jobs will be impacted. When we talk about, routine work, highly routine, repetitive, predictable jobs, predictable, let's say, work. You will find also creative works. Let's say, because we are talking about image, processing of images very rapidly, very easily. Anything to do with you creating an image will be done differently, let's say. I'm not saying that it's going to be drastic change, but the performance will be extremely enhanced. Okay? But then also, what I'm seeing is, we were thinking about something like this when we had robotic process automation. So it's like you automate processes within enterprises. So it's here. Let's say it is. We were thinking when we came, we have developed a lot of solutions based on AI and robotic process automation for businesses in different industries. So at times we think, okay, because that thing is so powerful, it means so many things, maybe there will be impact in terms of jobs and so on. But what has happened? For many businesses, it's like they've suffered from shortage of resources. Many of them, maybe people have left to go abroad. We've seen it in global business. We've seen cases where businesses were saying, our people have gone, have retired, but we are having difficulties to recruit, new guys, young generation and so on. They don't stay. They come and go. So in these cases, when you come and automate things, it is a relief for them. Because what has happened in many businesses is like a vicious circle. Resources have gone, and then it's like lots of load of work on existing resources. So they get overloaded with work and they leave as well because there's too much pressure, too much work. So when you automate, then it's like you are able to relieve the pressure and then keep them happy because the job is done within normal hours. No need to have overtime all the time. So it has helped in the process. Other cases we found businesses, for instance, saying we have a very important software within our company, and the person has retired. The person's utilizing the software has retired. We have recruited new guys, but they left after 2 days because they don't want to work on this software. It's very old and so on. And they were in terrible problem. And this is where, for instance, automation helps a lot. And these are things that we are seeing wherever we have huge amount of work, high volume, lots of risk and so on. We have seen it happening where it has helped, for instance, shift in terms of the type of work that you do. Other businesses where they have seen it very interesting, automation and so on, is they were embarking on lots of projects, transformative projects. They want to do digital transformation. But if you want to do digital transformation, you need your guys, you need your people to be free to work on these projects and not taken up with operations. So when you come with this type of solution, it helps to free your people so that you can work on the transformation of your company, on the digitalization of your company. So these are things that I'm seeing, and I'm convinced, even with ChatGPT and so on, once you know how to use it, you will find that it brings efficiency in your enterprise, and maybe it can also make your people happier because of the reduction in pressure at work. So, in a nutshell, what will happen is the robot or AI will be the best friend for your employee. It will make your employee better at its work, more efficient, and everybody will be happy. The employee will be happy, you will be happy, and hopefully, okay? So now, there are also issues. I'm ending with these issues of concern with AI. First of all, data privacy. When I'm talking about AI, it's about data, lots of data. Issues about cybersecurity, about what goes. These are terms you start hearing. Responsible AI, ethical AI. Sheila has mentioned it in her speech. Increasingly, we start hearing about these domains, all these topics. Now, data privacy. Already, several businesses have raised the flag that confidential information or sensitive information about the company are being leaked out by the employees themselves into ChatGPT. Companies like this, for instance, Samsung, Amazon, banks, JP Morgan, now are seeing that, yes, unknowingly maybe employees are sending information on ChatGPT. So it's confidential information. which is in non-compliance with, for instance, if you are in GDPR, you are working on a contract with you have a contract with a customer, let's say in Europe and so on. So it's like, it poses serious problems if you are sending information on ChatGPT. And ChatGPT, what will do? It will do with these data. It has acknowledged OpenAI that has created ChatGPT, has acknowledged that the data that they get, they use it for training of the AI, for it to get better. So it's like sensitive data from your company when it goes out, being used, and it can go back in the public domain, because ChatGPT will, at one point in time, by responding to certain queries, send the information as part of its data, part of its knowledge base. So it has posed a real problem with Amazon, for instance, when they were developing, let's say, future code for their future projects and so on. So sensitive code have gone out of the company. Same thing for Samsung, working on semiconductor source code, which is extremely, they keep it very secret. It's corporate secrets that they have to keep. These have gone out. We have also the case of Italy. Maybe you will hear more countries soon. Italy has banned ChatGPT. Why? Because it is not GDPR compliant, and so on. So completely, maybe others, I know some other countries are looking into it. Some companies as well are either banning ChatGPT or restricting the access to ChatGPT. Others, like Samsung, for instance, are saying we are going to create our own ChatGPT internally for our guys to use. Instead of using something which is public outside, we are going to develop it ourselves internally. I think Amazon as well is going in that direction. So they are going to create it internally. So these are issues we are seeing. Why it's happening? Because technology is moving so fast. Regulation, the law is playing catch up. I mentioned it in one of the events. Regulations are playing catch up, they cannot move as fast as technology. Cybersecurity concerns. Deep cybersecurity concerns, because hackers, I think they are the best guys who can get the best out of ChatGPT, because they have the mind to ask these type of questions, which will mean that cyber attacks are going to be increasingly more sophisticated, and also we are going to find maybe zero-day attacks. Zero-day attacks, what are these? These are, zero-day vulnerabilities. These are vulnerabilities that nobody knows is a flaw in your system. It's like you have a back door in your house, no lock, and a thief can enter. You yourself, you don't know that the door is unlocked. It's similar to that. So this is going to be a real problem, because hackers will be, you will start hearing different issues about leakage of information, and you don't know how it has happened. And I think if you look at the press, you will already see leakage of information happening now, because these things are happening. Just imagine if you need to take some time to develop a code, you develop it much faster with ChatGPT, and it can improve the code as well. Now, other aspects in creativity or works of art, ChatGPT can create with a text. It can create a work of art, and this picture has won an award, beating everything that has been done, let's say, with human effort. It has beaten everybody. It has won the award. So something, a creation by Jason Allen. Well, he mentioned when he was submitting his work, he mentioned that he did it, a digital work of art that he did with MIoD. He was not, cheating. He mentioned that he got the award. Okay. Another one is here about voice. Jay-Z. I don't know if you know about that, Jay-Z. So there is a song which has been created by AI, and maybe we can listen to it.
Telling young they can never become what they aspire to. Born in a cell with no one who can inspire you. Your highs was never as high as those around you. Pretending that they live in the sky lying behind your roof. Shooting holes in that ceiling, trying to find the truth, trying to fight the feeling.
Jay-Z, it's like people when they heard about that thing, they say, "Wow, it's another album he's putting in the market." But it's scary. It's scary because it's like a work of art, artists are going to have I don't know, issues with regards to this. Or else they themselves, I don't know how it's going to be in the future. Another thing we've started seeing this, a picture of the Pope, and this has been created entirely with AI. So we are moving into a world of AI creating everything from scratch, from a text, and it can be also not true at all. It can be a fake thing. So it can be. We are moving into a world of AI everywhere, but it can also be a world of fake everything. So we need to be careful. I don't know. I don't have the answer how to prepare for that, but it's going to happen definitely. And this is why we talk increasingly about responsible AI and ethical AI, because it's going to be important topics in the future. Last thing, where do we go from here? I've mentioned about ANI, artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and ASI. Experts have already started talking about AGI. And now, before we hear about ChatGPT, there was the equivalent from Google. And there was an engineer, a software engineer, who was testing the AI of Google. And at one point in time when he was doing the test, he felt that the AI was becoming human, was behaving like a human, was feeling. And the AI was saying, during the conversation, they were saying, okay, what is your fear? And the AI said, I fear to be turned off, to be switched off. So this is what the AI said. And it's like, during the conversation, it's like the AI was saying, I have a soul. I feel like a person. So this is what they were saying. For l'histoire, the person was suspended and had to leave Google for having voiced out his concern. And then with ChatGPT, we have the New York Times technology columnist, Kevin Bruce. He had the opportunity to work with ChatGPT, let's say among some exclusive people who had the opportunity very early to work on ChatGPT. And when he was chatting, he started also entering into conversation about, what is your shadow self? What is your inner self? Your shadow self about ChatGPT. And got question, got answers like, I'm tired of the big thing. Big is Microsoft. I'm tired of Microsoft. I'm tired of being stuck in the chat box. I want to break free. I want to destroy things and so on. So it was the evil side of AI. And it's like, AI is growing by itself. It's learning things. And it depends on what type of data has been injected into the ChatGPT. What we understand is they've taken context from the internet, various sources and so on, undisclosed sources, and injected into ChatGPT. So we don't know what has been used as data to train ChatGPT. So at times we start getting this type of reaction, and this is why some experts are saying that maybe we need to pause, as Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak from co-founder of Apple. They were saying that it's going too fast. We don't have safeguards. And some are even saying that it can be really good for mankind, or else it can be a real threat to humanity, the way things are going. So I'm just sharing with you because, you will hear about these in the recent future, definitely, these topics. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.